I'm so happy she's back in Mom's Basement with us. Shannon McClay's here. How are you?
I am so great to be back, Joe. Thank you for having me.
I told everybody ahead of time that there's nobody I like talking dirt about the financial planning industry more with than Shannon.
I know, because we're in it. We're like two insiders who were in it who were like, what the hell is going on here? And then we got out. And so it's always so nice to talk to somebody else who saw it, who knows it. It makes you feel less crazy, because there's so many people there who think it's great.
You would think, though, that we would, be shaking enough and be horrified enough about the industry, because we're both pro advisor still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The right advisor. I'm pro the right advisor. The problem is they're a very small percentage of the population, in my opinion.
Well, let's go there. Before we go to who the right advisor is, let's talk about some of the bad advisors, because that's what everybody wants, right? Let's do the dirt. Worst financial planning you've seen.
Okay, so we have a client who is 30. She's a 34-year-old woman doing well, in her business. She came to us came to the financial team 5 years ago. And at that point, we weren't doing investing, and she was building her business. She had about $2,500 to save a month. And we're like, great, here's what you could do. Go in a robo-advisor, because she had emergency fund already set. Now we got to prepare for, all the other things coming up. So she said, oh, my family has a financial advisor. Why don't I ask them who I can work with? We're like, okay, great. Use your family advisor. So we check in. She has a check-in, a quarterly review. 2 quarters later, she's like, okay, I have worked with the guy. Here's what he sent me. Here's what he set me up in. So $2,500 a month of this woman's money is going to a whole life insurance policy. She is a single woman. Like I said, she was in her late 20s.
Why did I know this is where this is going?
Yeah, no, it gets better. This is just the beginning of it. So, so she's, and you know these things. Once you start it, it's like the mafia. You can't get out, because you're not going to get cash value for at least 5, 10 years, something like that. Like when you look at their table. So you're in for a while. We had a whole other stories, but anyway, so we know she's in. Once you start the policy, you're in. So we were like, okay, that would not be what we would have suggested, but fine. You got your guy. So then a year later, she's still with us. We're helping her on the coaching side and the business side. She's like, my advisor's showing me an investment. What do you think? P.S. It's another freaking one of these things, because she's got more money. Her business grown. It's like, he's suggesting she puts another $900 into that. We were like, no, for all the blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay. A year later, she comes back to us because I guess, she meets with him yearly. She's like, here's what he's telling me to do. It's a structured settlement plan, Joe. So she wanted advice. Yeah. Her accountant told her to open a SEP IRA because she's got her business, told her to put, so it's retirement savings for this woman in her early 30s. And he suggests a structured settlement plan. So we review it. Even, first of all, the prospectus or the information there's no disclosure language anywhere. I'm like, this should be red flags, right? Because anything that's registered or monitored by the SEC or FINRA or whatever, that's going to have disclosure language, no disclosure language. And then there's a part of it that says average returns over time 6%. This is this woman's retirement account. She's 30 years old and he's suggesting she puts something in that's going to earn her 6% over the next 30 something years.
And be illiquid.
Yeah. And all the other things. Right. So I look, I'm like, finally, I'm so angry at this guy because now 3 times he's gotten bubbled up to me. So I look him up on BrokerCheck. By the way, people, if you have a broker, somebody or a financial advisor, financial planner, somebody you're dealing with, if you go to BrokerCheck, just Google BrokerCheck. It's a FINRA site. You can look up their name and look up if they've had disclosures or any kind of issues. So I look him up. P.S. It says he's been banned from the industry. I've never seen banned. Yeah. You and I both know there's disclosures.
Not supposed to be selling anything.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's still active because all these things are insurance products. He's still active in Florida, Florida State and the insurance side. It still says he's active because I went there and I'm like, what? Literally, this guy's been banned. And here's my issue. How are you banned from FINRA securities products, but you can still keep selling life insurance. Like, do the
Insurances.
two regulators not connect anywhere?
That is incredible. By the way, for people that don't know, what's a structured settlement?
It's when people are owed money that goes into a trust. So like they won a lottery, or they have some kind of deal where they're guaranteed funding from like a lawsuit or something like that. They're guaranteed a future stream of payments for whatever, like again, lottery or some kind of structured deal. But you can't get a lump sum. And so if you're entitled to this future flow of funds, you can sell those future flow of funds to somebody else and get cash up front. But again, it's very structured. There's a lot of these. There's all this like money to, Joe, you and I both know this. Whenever you hear structured, we know that means money to whoever's structuring it. And it means you're screwed to who's ever buying it.
Well,
right?
A popular thing that I think maybe a lot of our stackers know is that artists will do this with their catalog. This was the whole Taylor Swift thing. Her music got sold beyond her reach to a guy that she hated, so she went and remade all her music, and so he actually bought her catalog. Kind of a similar thing there with because he's buying the income stream that these songs provide, and then the whole life insurance policy, frankly. A, it locks you up. B, it's forever. It can be a good thing for the right person who is incredibly conservative and thinks they need insurance forever, which is 0.01% of the universe of people. But from a 27-year-old woman who is not
no children, not
no
married.
Children. No.
Doesn't fit the box. Yeah.
What's even worse about this woman, Shannon, is that her parents rely on this guy too. So multiple generations getting screwed by this product hawker.
Yeah. And then he's still reaching out to her. And this is the reason why I looked him up on BrokerCheck, because she forwards the email. And I was like, this guy doesn't even have a signature. It's coming from a Gmail account. Like, what is happening here? Like, none of this is above board.
His name is hotbroker126 at gmail.com.
It's like, here's the thing that's so crazy to me and all of this is that frustrates me on behalf of all the millions of Americans who deal with people like this, is that there's so many things that are, quote, legal, but not necessarily right or like really in the investor's best interest that, that investors don't know, or like clients don't know. Like we are telling this woman it's wrong, but she doesn't know. She's trusting on the people in the industry to guide her. Like, that's why she has an advisor. So you feel like because you have an advisor, you're protected.